604, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, off and running, broadcasting live from the 180 Pro studio in downtown Baton Rouge, where it is 48 degrees. Brian here with you, JP producing, getting you ready for a busy show. We've got a new LSU president. We're also going back to that chancellor-ish model. We got an LSU athletic director. We got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. I'll give you the rundown in just a minute, but we're going to start off with top stories and trending.
Number 5.
Holiday shoppers heading to Tanger Outlet Mall will notice a new feature on Highway 30, a roundabout designed to improve traffic flow and reduce congestion. It's near Robert Wilson Drive and South St. Landry Avenue. This is the first of several planned upgrades along I-10 and surrounding roads in Ascension Parish. Additional roundabouts are planned on both sides of the interstate ramps. Once all three are in operation, DOTD expects drivers will see the full benefits of smoother traffic flow.
Number 4.
Yesterday morning, Baton Rouge Fire Department received a Class 1 rating on its most recent Property Insurance Association of Louisiana test. The department has maintained a top rating since 1980, making it the only department in the United States to maintain that level of rating for that long.
Number 3.
Wade Rouge was named the new president of LSU by the University Board of Supervisors during a meeting on Tuesday. Rouge, who is the current president at McNeese State University, was chosen to fill the position vacated by William Tate over the summer. Meanwhile, James T. Dalton, who came over from Alabama, he was another finalist to be LSU president. He's been named executive vice president and provost of LSU, basically making him the chancellor.
Number 2.
In his first move as university president, Wade Rouge promoted Verge Osbury from interim to LSU's permanent athletic director. Osbury worked as the executive deputy athletic director under previous AD Scott Woodward.
Number 1.
Had an overnight fire that we need to get caught up on. It was a building along Main Street that was, hang on, let's get it going here. On Tuesday afternoon, fire crews put out a fire on Main Street at an adult care facility. The property belongs to Collis Temple Jr., a property owner covered extensively by a number of reports or news partners at WBRZ. It happened at Maxima Industries, an adult day center for people with developmental delays. Temple said Maxima Industries differs from the Harmony Center, where he is the CEO. Wow.
Well, Zohran Mamdani claims victory in the New York City mayoral race.
Yeah, let's get this going. This is gonna be a thing, right? We're gonna move towards socialism in New York City. And I heard the victory speech. Very, very powerful speaker.
Yeah.
Very powerful speaker.
Indeed.
Socialism ever worked out?
No.
Anywhere?
No, not anywhere where you
Like on the history of the planet, since the dawn of human beings, we left the garden.
Yeah.
Has it ever worked out?
The proper response to that was, well, that wasn't true socialism.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, bless their hearts.
Mm-hmm.
How many wars have we had over socialism? A few.
Yeah, a couple.
Few.
Yeah.
Few.
Right. Up next is at least 7 people were killed in when a UPS plane crashed in Louisville shortly after takeoff. That was yesterday.
Yeah, it was. And as the news continues to come out on this one, we're gonna have more of this from ABC coming up later on. I don't want to scroll through a bunch of stuff, but there was sorry.
Oh no,
The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating right now. This happened at a hub facility for UPS right near Louisville. The number could rise. That number of 7 people could actually go up.
Yeah, and it looks like even 11 were injured, and it's apparently major injuries. So,
yep.
In other news, the federal government shutdown is now at a record 36 days.
Okay,
new record here for
new record.
The shutdown.
We got it. We talked about this. Talked about this yesterday with Congressman Troy Carter in our DC Current presented by LABI. I firmly believe that this gets done this week. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, sticking on that topic, let me give you the rundown for today. Franz Borghardt is in for Legally Served. That's coming up at about 20 minutes from right now. We were supposed to have Senator Bill Cassidy on at 7:05. Had to cancel that interview, or at least postpone it for a couple days. The senator can't be on with us this morning. He got called into the White House. President Trump called him, said, I need you in on a meeting about the shutdown, about, hopefully bring him, how do we find an end to this thing? So, I don't know. The senator one-up me for the president. You got to have to take a back seat there, right?
I wouldn't get butthurt about that.
I'm not.
Franz Borghardt would get slightly butthurt.
I'm not.
Brian Haldane, most normal human beings, not so much.
No, I'm not the least bit. No, it was, we were supposed to have Senator Cassidy on. That's going to be rescheduled. Brenden Buck is going to talk about healthcare, the healthcare tax credit exemption. Lauren Griffin from the LSU Alumni Association is coming up at 7:35. We'll talk about the new president and the new president/chancellor role there. In our 8 o'clock hour, Les Nicholson is going to talk about the USS Kidd. Looks like we've got a homecoming date set. Cheryle Totten is going to talk youth legislature in the 8 o'clock hour. And the Baton Rouge Zydeco are about to be back on the ice. Their coach, Chad Bailey, will join us at 8:35. That is a look at your guest list for this morning. Like we said, we got a lot of ground to cover today, a lot of news in between all that. Before we get you to our first break, though, let me remind you about the folks over at Vex European, VEX.com is where you're going to find them online. Where you'll find them in real life is on Benefit Drive. That is kind of the backside of Industriplex. Vex European specializes in European vehicles, and I use them for this reason and this reason alone. I'm not going to find someone better out there to take care of my 18-year-old car. I have an 18-year-old Mercedes. My Mercedes can vote. And I know that I have a Mercedes tech when I go to Vex. I also know that I'm taken care of real well. The waiting room is awesome. I just hop on the Wi-Fi, knock out a whole bunch of work, return a bunch of emails, drink a little coffee, have a little snack.
I was just about to ask you, is there coffee there?
There's coffee, there's soft drinks. So they always have the TV on, and this is if I've got any beef at all, they always have the TV on like some kind of car-related program.
You think you could change it?
I can definitely change it. The remote's sitting right in front of me, but I never want to. Like, I'll get into it.
Is there insecurity about, like, I don't want to be the guy that goes into an auto repair shop
and puts on, like, the Food Network? Yeah. Well, no, I'm not doing that. But I'll like flip through, maybe catch a little Sports Center or something from time to time. But no, they take good care of you while you wait, and you're honestly not waiting all that long. Check them out online at VexEuropean.com. About Rotary? Yeah.
No. It was more of it's discomfort. It's a great networking environment, but it's uncomfortable networking and it requires legwork.
Yeah.
It's not in your lap. It's not, and for him in particular, there's a lot of potential. I mean, I don't know if you've seen an ROI out of it.
Absolutely, I have.
Yeah, I mean,
but not everybody.
I don't go to the meetings. So that's my problem.
Well, not everybody gets to be on the podium every single week. So
you should be on the podium. Brian Haldane should be on the podium every week.
But it's my in to talk to everybody, right?
I am a podium. I need to get a car, like a Mercedes or like a Vol. I mean, I'm trying to think of a Beamer, something that I could like. It's not it's the BMW, the Volvo. And I know you're a humble man. I'm not directing this at you, but like if I had a Mercedes, the Mercedes. You don't do that with a Tahoe. I don't go downstairs. I'm getting in the Tahoe.
Why not? Costs about the same.
Maintenance is starting to feel like the same.
though. .614 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. It is sports time. First thing Wade Rouge did as the new LSU president, LSU system president, was give Verge Osbury the bump, take away the interim title on AD, and make him the athletic director. Rouge says, going along with that, it will be involved very quickly and aggressively in the search for a new football coach.
I just think as a president, you should probably be involved in the search for what I think is the best college football job in America at the best college football university in America. So I would think you would want your president being involved in that process.
So the new coach's contract, as we go back to what Jeff Landry has been saying, is going to be it'll be incentive-based, but Rouge does say he's going to do whatever it's going to take to land the best and most qualified coach in the nation.
I would like to think that we could do that in our athletics contracts, but we all know that the market is the market. And let me repeat what we said. We are very determined to go find the absolute best coach there is to come take the best coaching job in America and come lead us to our next national championship.
Look, I get it. I get the sentiment. I get the excitement. But I don't know how you come out and say we're going to hire the best coach there is. That's every coaching search's goal, right? I don't know the coaching search that went out and said, we're going to find someone who's meh. Like every coaching search is we're going to find the best coach out there. So it's quantifying the proper metrics to get that done. But the coaching search will be commencing very soon. Meanwhile, last night, LSU women's basketball is on the floor. Taking it to Houston Christian, 108-55. The Tigers whip up on the Huskies. For LSU, they had, I believe it was 6 women in, let's see. I got to scroll up again. Or I could just lose my whole screen to refresh. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, 5 different players in double figures. Caitlin Gilbert didn't quite get there. She had 9. They were led by Malaysia Full-Wiley. You had Michaela Williams was all over the place with 14 as well. In fact, there was a sequence in the second quarter that just blew the doors off the whole thing.
Inbounds, and it's going to be stolen. It's taken by Full-Wiley. She's on her way to the bucket. Nice lead for Williams. The layup is good.
With the dish.
The Malaysia Full-Wiley show is on.
And Michaela Williams was ready for that. She was ready to finish.
You better be ready.
Gotta be ready.
And almost as soon as they said that, it was like the turnaround was instant.
Hey, here's another one.
Top of the key steal. Full-Wiley to the bucket. It's good.
Showtime.
And it's 51-27.
It went from 47-27 to 51-27. No, she did get another steal. Right at that, but didn't convert on it. It went from 47-27 to 51-27 in no time. 108-55, your final score last night. The LSU women's basketball team will take on Southeastern tomorrow night. Southeastern, by the way, coming off a 105-49 win Monday night as they were taking on the Centenary women's basketball team. I never know what to call a Centenary women's basketball team because the Centenary mascot is the gentleman. So I don't think they're the lady gentleman.
They identify as lady and gentleman.
Is that what they do up there in Shreveport?
She, him.
I think they're just the ladies. The ladies. LSU men's basketball plays Tarleton State tonight. You'll hear that on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. Meanwhile, the Saints got some work done heading into the trade deadline. Not going to have enough time for the sound bites there, JP. But the Saints got some work done heading into the trade deadline. Rashid Shaheed is going to the Seattle Seahawks. We'll get a couple of day 3 draft picks for him. And then Trevor Penning is going to go to the Chargers for a 2027 6th round draft pick. Which means the Saints now get to evaluate Tyler Shuck without his fastest receiver and an absolute makeshift offensive line. It's 6:20. Here comes the Fox Business Report. I'll check traffic in just a second, then we're getting on with Legally Served. Good morning, Christy.
Shout out to Kim, Renee. I actually really want a Cadillac again because I can be the caddy lawyer at that point. See what I did there? Caddy lawyer. Did I hear that McDonald's is now going to round up cash? Troy, David. Got yelled at yesterday by Nancy Grace for not being enough of a criminal defense attorney.
What does that mean?
I don't know. She wanted me to play a part.
Mm.
And I almost told her, I don't role play for anybody unless I'm the one calling the shots. I didn't say that. I thought it.
You said yes, ma'am.
Self-preservation in this stage of my life keeps what's up here sometimes. So when you do a political advertisement,
I don't. That's the only time I've ever done one. Probably the only time I ever will.
So look, my question is, when you do a political advertisement, do people naturally assume that you align with what you're saying? I think they have to, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I align with that. I'm voting for Thrive. I'm voting for all three propositions.
Right. So it's easier to take that money.
I have no, I'm not getting paid for this. Well, I've never put my name. Let me do this real quick. Oh. All right, yes, we are looking at volume on the interstates right now. It's not enough to make you want to change your drive, though. Mainly, our biggest problem this morning is actually not on the interstates. It's scenic highway. If you're coming in before you get to I-110, there looks like a lot of delays up that way. Actually in both directions. If I'm reading this map right here, we got some slowdowns on scenic. It's like just north of I-110. I-110 itself, though, is moving right along. Looks like I-12. We got our volume there, but not enough to make you want to. I mean, it's if you hop on at range every day, it's the same as you see every day. Meanwhile, 10 westbound coming in from Prairieville looks good. 10 eastbound coming in from West Baton Rouge looks good as well. Surface streets, there is only one accident to look out for, and this might actually be on private property. Park Row at Grand Avenue. Other than that, your surface streets look good. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. We're rolling over to 623 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Every Wednesday, we take a look at some of the headlines from a legal perspective. We call it Legally Served. Let's get to it. Mm-hmm. What you say, Franz?
You know, sometimes we struggle to get a topic, and then sometimes the heavens just open up and the universe reveals itself.
Yep.
And we start texting each other, and one just falls in our lap.
That's what happened this week for sure.
A lot of judges getting challenged for recusal these days.
Oh, is
in
it
our
more
backyard.
than one?
Well, I had a case where the DA's office recently moved to recuse a judge.
Okay.
This is a case where they moved to recuse a judge. Now, in my case, he did not recuse himself, and nor did another judge say that he had to recuse himself.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, it was different.
Okay. Let's dive into this.
Tee it up, baby.
Well, it's many, many more pages back further than I thought it was going to be.
Judge
so
Gail Ray.
Yes.
Maddie Brooks case.
Yes.
The defense previously waived a jury. By the way, state of Louisiana, you got to waive a jury within a certain time frame before the trial. And once you waive a jury, guess what?
What?
Can't revoke it.
Okay.
Can't unwaive it. You're stuck with a judge at that point.
Yes.
I'm doing everything I can to give you time.
And it's just
You want a little bit more?
You know what?
I'll give you a little bit more. So why would you waive a jury? Well, sometimes you waive a jury because the case is really about a very distinct legal issue, factual issue, and you want to take as much emotion out of it as you can.
Judge Gail Horn-Ray was recused from presiding over the trial of Kason Carver, one of 4 people arrested in the alleged rape of Madison Brooks that happened in 2023. Questions about Horn-Ray's impartiality arose last year after she overturned a rapist's conviction who was asking for parole. Some pointed out that her son, Nelson Dan Taylor, is a convicted serial rapist. However, District Attorney Hiller Moore says that's not why he requested the recusal. Quote, "We did not argue her son. That's what this defendant said and felt amongst themselves, him and his father, based on rulings that he had made, and particularly this particular ruling. So we did not argue that it was her personally. That's his opinion. That's how we saw it." The motion to recuse included text messages from Carver to his father about Judge Ray, saying her son was accused of rape a while back, so she knows to help us.
Number 1 rule. Whether you actually have knowledge that the judge is going to help you, whether you believe it, because by the way, we do this every single day of the week. Every single day of the week, we say, hey, this is going to be a good judge for our case.
Mm-hmm.
Or, hey, this won't be a good judge for our case, based on experience.
Okay.
Now, if there's a personal relationship, that's different. If there's a personal relationship, that judge shouldn't be your judge.
Right.
However, why in the world would you put something like that in text messages?
I don't know.
Stupid is, stupid does.
It kind of is. And the more the earth turns, the more we ought to know that text messages, A, stay there, and B, are not, no matter how private they are, they're not private.
So the part of the decision to recuse, in large part, was based on these messages.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing the judge did,
right?
But something this individual is saying in a text message. As a policy issue or as a policy concern, I'm concerned that this will be a new way of forum shopping for judges. If I don't like the judge I have, do I encourage people to start text messaging? Hey, this judge is really good for us. Hey, I got the skinny on this judge. This judge is going to rule in our favor.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, with that leading to a judge recusing themselves, because what my people text is what gets the recusal.
Right.
Sounds far-fetched, but it's a weird policy. It's nothing this judge did. And in fact, in the ruling, Brian, Judge Meyer said Gail Ray is fair. It's not about her ability to be fair or impartial.
But he called the communication, quote, particularly concerning.
Troubling, concerning.
Yes. Now, the state's main concern, and this is coming from our news partners at WBRZ, state's main concern was how much Judge Horn-Ray knew about the case. Previously, she had ruled that Brooks' sexual history could be used at trial. That ruling was overturned. But since the defense requested a bench trial, Ray would be the judge, and she had already seen that evidence.
Right. What you're saying is she can't put it out of her mind. She can't be fair. She can't be impartial. She can't follow the law. That's the statement here.
Yes.
Or let me rephrase that, because I'm not criticizing the DA's office. That's the concern. The flip side of the argument is, Judge, we believe that you're fair and impartial, but who in the world could put that out of their mind? It's like It's like unseeing something you can't unsee.
Right.
And then don't think about it anymore.
Which is an impossibility.
Right.
I think we're kind of leading up to this recusal is the right call.
Well, I don't know. I've got strong feelings on this one.
Okay.
The law seems to indicate, and this is going to go all the way up.
Mhm.
It was always going to go all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Wait, there's a lot to unpack just from that.
Okay.
Because if it's going to go all the way to the Supreme Court, what difference does it make if she was recused? We're going to pick that up on the back end. 6:30 at Talk 107.3 FM. News, traffic, weather, legally served continues next.
Keith, they have not severed the cases yet. So if that's what you mean by split, they have not severed them. Galen, there certainly is an appearance of impropriety, but not by the judge. It's by the text messages of the individual. Yes, Kim, text messages equal receipts.
Oh, 1,000%.
So when you deal in cash, you don't have to sell the ink and matrimonial addresses.
The only text messages you should see are, got a sec?
Can we talk on the phone? Can we talk on a payphone? Did we learn nothing from Goodfellas? Don't spend the money. Don't spend the money. Don't buy a fur coat.
Big Paulie didn't move fast because Big Paulie didn't have to move for anybody.
Which movie do you like better? Casino or Goodfellas?
Goodfellas. Casino's way too over the top.
I felt the Casinos was an attempt to make another Goodfellas.
No, well, I mean, it's a separate novel. They're both based off novels, but
I felt like it was an attempt to make the same movie again, but with a different. It just didn't. I don't know.
So it was an attempt to make the same book again?
No. What I liked about Goodfellas was the style of the movie.
Yeah,
it's Scorsese, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's how he tells his stories. I felt like, yes, different novel, different story, but I felt like it was an attempt to replicate. I'm doing a terrible job telling you why I didn't like Casino. I liked Goodfellas.
Okay.
I wanted Goodfellas to have its own lane.
I mean, you have a couple of the same character.
It's the same type.
You have the couple of same actors playing similar characters,
right?
But that's on Nicholas Pileggi.
Pesci plays Pesci. Is Pesci still alive, or did he die? Yeah. Yes.
Mm-mm. Who's your friend's uncle that got portrayed in it? Kimberly says, Casino, my friend's uncle was portrayed in it. Met Kimberly Friday night.
Good people.
She's out trick-or-treating on Esplanade. Mike Detillier, y'all.
It's all about draft capital.
They need to accumulate draft choices. There's no question about it. They need to get more picks, but you got to hit on those draft picks to make this work.
I'm John Burns.
Love me some Mike Detillier. This guy's a legend. He calls the NFL draft the underwear Olympics. Oh, the dude killed with the ice pick. No, it's not an ice pick. Or is it? No, he stabbed with an ink pen. I said ink, like when they're at the bar, if that's the guy you're talking about. Joe Pesci picks up a fountain pen and jabs it in him.
He once killed 2 men with the pencil. With the pencil. Start living my life. What would John Wick do? Franz has been arrested for second-degree murder. You haven't seen a John Wick movie?
No. What?
I've seen all 5 of the movies. Yeah. You've got to at least see the first one. The first one is good. He's a man of focus.
That just never seemed to end.
Casino, I felt like they tried too hard to be graphic.
Over a puppy and a car.
I felt like Casino tried too hard to be graphic.
Yeah. I mean, I like Sharon Stone.
I would have offed her in the first half hour. And there's no way that James Woods' character would have lived in real life like that long. He gets offed in the first half hour for sure. And then Sharon Stone's a different character. What was his name? Lester Diamond?
Is James Wood her pimp or just her?
I would say groomer.
Groomer. Ah, yeah.
Like boyfriend since she was before she was of age.
Got it. I'm with you.
Yeah. .635 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along, legally served, rolling right along with attorney Franz Borghardt. We've got we're going to roll it all the way up to 6:50 before we hand you off to Court TV. How's Court TV going, by the way?
I'm on twice today.
Ooh, uh-oh.
I'm such a whore.
That's well. Are there what shows are you on today?
So I'm on Julie Grant's show this morning.
Love Julie. She's been on the show.
So it this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but so the listeners understand, I have set segments I'm on every week. Twice a week I'm on set segments.
Right.
And then I get the occasional booking agent say, hey, can you be on this time? And I don't have a booking agent. Court TV has booking agents. And so if I'm available, if I'm in my office and I don't have court, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll jump on national TV and talk.
Mm-hmm.
So your next question is what am I talking about?
You don't know.
There is a civil case.
Oh, you know.
There's a civil case where a teacher gets shot by a kid. And I can't think of the name of the case off the top of my head, but basically there were signs that indicated the kid may have a gun at school.
Ooh.
And it's a civil case against the principal, but really against the insurance policy and
Okay.
There's that case. And then there's a couple of national cases going on right now. I mean, no big deal. Franz Borghardt.
Understood. Let's get back to our case.
Sure.
Okay. We're leading up to the question of, was the recusal the right call?
I think that ultimately my prediction is no, it was not the right call. I understand where
Why not?
I understand where Judge Myers is coming from. If you look at the law, though, I don't think that the law supports. Okay, if you come from the school of the mere appearance of impropriety, it gets kicked. Well, then maybe. But I don't know that the judge did anything inappropriate, and I don't know that the text messages. By the way, the DA's
I'm
office.
about to read the text messages.
So the DA's office had the text messages for over a year.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another issue of, is this motion timely? They waited until if she's partial. If she's unfair, she's partial and unfair from day one.
But there's also the difference of this is a jury trial, then it doesn't matter. If it's a bench trial, her partiality does matter.
It does matter across the board. So that
not to the same degree, though.
She has the authority post-trial, post-verdict to overturn a jury decision. You do know that, right?
No, yes, but she would have to overturn a jury decision.
Right. So if she's unfair,
glaring.
If she's unfair, if the fix is in, the fix is in. So there's that. I don't have a dog in the hunt, guys.
No, I understand.
I mean,
there's a difference between doing what you would do versus overturning what somebody else has done to do what you would do.
So you've got two hurdles. You've got the procedure and substantive hurdles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Procedurally, is it right? Okay, that they filed the motion when they filed it, I think that there's an issue there. But maybe I'm wrong on that.
Okay.
Substantively, I don't know with jurors, people were picking to make the decision that have seen things. We ask them, can you set that out of your mind?
Mm-hmm.
And if they say, yes, I can be fair, I can be partial and set it out of my mind, they stay on the jury. So why is she any different? She made a ruling. She was overturned in a ruling. She can set that up. Why can't she be fair and impartial? Because that's the problem, right?
I'll tell you what. You point me to the next time a referee overturns a technical foul, okay? Ref tees you up in a basketball game. You argue with the referee. You know what's going to happen?
You're going to lose me.
Another technical
You're going to
foul.
lose me with sports.
No, this is why I didn't go football. I went basketball. Okay? You asked the person who made the call to change the call. They're not changing the call.
It's not about changing the call. The call was changed by a higher court.
I understand that.
Right.
But now you want to send it back to the person who made the original call here.
She took an oath to uphold the law of the state of Louisiana and the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
What you are saying in this motion is, I do not believe that you can do that. I do not believe that you can set something that is inadmissible out of your mind and that you're going to not follow the law. That is the statement here. And in fact, the irony is Judge Meyer, who made the decision, and I respect his decision, said, I don't think you're unfair. I don't think you're partial. Now, read the text, because that is important.
Yeah, the texts are important. Carver said to his father, and the judge we're getting, I think you know about, but we are friends with her, and she is really good for our case. Her son was accused of rape a while back, so she knows how to help us, or she knows to help us. Then that was in February 23.
Stupid text.
That was in February 23. Then in December of 23, Mr. Carver sent another text to his father that said, because I was stressed about today, but he still says we're good and the judge is on our side. That right there should lead to all kinds of questions about how and why is the judge on your side? What has happened here that makes you believe the judge is on your side? And if you can't get to the bottom of that, you have to defer to another. Judge Gail Horn-Ray is not the only judge that can try this case.
So you have two options here. Either one, the fix is in, and she is on their side.
Yeah.
Which I don't think there's any evidence or proof that she is.
There's evidence. There's a text message that says she's on her side.
Or that text message was taken out of context.
So you pick and choose where you're gonna believe people.
No, I'm telling you the two. I'm telling you the two options. The fix is either in, right? And you believe that there is a fix because tell me when I'm wrong. If you believe him in his text messages and she is on their side, the fix is in from day one.
Yes.
And she shouldn't be a judge, period.
Yes.
Or that text message was taken out of context. And I'm only defending that text message in so much as, let's use your basketball analogy. You're a coach. You're good. You're a damn good coach. My son's played for your basketball team before. You're a good coach. You get on the floor and you're like, you see the refs and you're like, those are good refs for us. Doesn't mean the fix is in. It may mean that they're really good, fair refs, right?
Yeah.
Or that ref owes me $100. The fix is in.
Correct. That's okay. Then let's add context to it.
Sure.
By reading one more text that came later that same day.
Please do.
Everything is good. Judge reset it for next Wednesday. She had a problem opening all the discovery for the phones, but Joe said she is going to rule in our favor.
That's, again, I tell clients, I think that they're going to rule in our favor. That doesn't mean that it necessarily will happen. I have no doubt that Joe Long, the attorney, said, I don't know if he definitely said that.
I don't think you would.
Clients do hear things they want to hear.
I understand that. I understand it. But
we can't agree. Astronomically stupid.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But it had to have come from somewhere.
Stupidity?
It had to have come from a place of, if the judge is on our side, there has to be something that led to the judge being on their side. Or there had to be something that led to their belief that the judge is on their side.
You know, the really, 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 okay, this is going to go all the way up. I got 6 minutes left. This will go all the way up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court's going to be the one making the final call on this. If the Supreme Court affirms Judge Meyer, if the Supreme Court says you got to have a new judge, they cannot unwaive their jury. So if they can't, it's irrevocable. That's law. That's black letter law. You cannot, once you waive it, that's it.
Okay. Yeah.
So they get a new judge. Okay. Now, theoretically, whatever judge they're going to get is going to be fair and impartial. Theoretically. But man, oh man, if you If you waived a jury because you thought this judge, I like the way this judge calls balls and strikes, and this judge, by the way, doesn't mean they're unfair, doesn't mean they're impartial. The reality is, based on experience, you start determining, okay, this argument that I want to throw and see if it sticks against the wall, this judge that I have in this courtroom may be more amicable to that argument based on my experience with her than this judge over here based on my experience with him, who knows that I'm full of BS and will call me on my BS. That's reality. That's the reality of practice in law.
Mm-hmm.
Certain judges have certain trends in decision making.
Yes.
Which we know.
Yes.
And sometimes we're angry about.
Sometimes those trends lead to cases like this one,
right,
where the trends have been set already. Joe Long, Carver's lawyer, said sent a statement to our news partners at WBRZ. He says the recusal hearing was the first ruling in a long action. No matter who won the hearing, the other side was going to appeal, and no matter who wins at the Court of Appeal, the other side will appeal to the Supreme Court of Louisiana. Okay, with that in mind, that this thing's going to go the whole way up. What does it matter which way Judge Myers ruled on the recusal? Because it's going to go back up.
It matters.
Okay, we're going to go back to sports again, okay?
No, but it matters also because of the record. The hearing matters. The initial hearing, what you put on the record is what the appeals courts get to use to play with to make their decision.
I'm going back to sports on this.
Okay.
One, okay.
Please stay basketball.
We're going to go to football, though.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So when you go to instant replay, which is what I would call the appeals court here,
okay,
you have to have enough evidence to overturn the ruling on the field.
Okay.
So if they determine the ruling on the field was an incomplete pass, they've got to determine it was an incomplete pass, or that it was complete, or whatever was called on the field. The evidence has to stack up against that. You have to prove against that, not enough to just not confirm.
So, question one is: Did Judge Myers make a lawful ruling based on the current law of recusals? I would argue that I disagree with his ruling. And again, let me say
now I have to follow that up with where did he run afoul of the law?
Because I don't think that the basis of his recusal, if he believes that she can be fair and impartial, I don't know that you can then recuse her. That's the problem. And he did say in his ruling, I believe that she is fair and impartial.
Mm-hmm.
She did not do, believe it or not, regardless of how you feel about Judge Gail Ray in the world, she didn't do anything. If you think about the basis of the recusal, it's because she knows something that she can't unknow. She didn't do anything on that one. Mm-hmm. And because this joker, this idiot, sent text messages, but I don't know that there's been any evidence presented that there's an inappropriate relationship between them.
Is it possible because the judge is smart enough to not text people?
Well, I mean, she's either dumb or not dumb. I mean, this is free legal advice from Franz Borghardt to all of you watching on Facebook Live or listening on Talk 107.3 Radio. Stop sending text messages.
What, lost in this, Franz?
A near second. Hold on. While I'm on my soapbox, a near second. If you're talking to an inmate who's accused of doing a crime, after the inmate hears the recording of this phone call is being recorded. This phone call is being recorded.
Yeah.
Stop saying stuff that they can be recorded.
I mean, that's kind of an easy one, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Getting back to it though.
Sorry.
This is not going to rule the day. There will be many.
Have a trial.
I understand. But no, what I'm saying, this ruling in and of itself is not going to rule the day.
Correct.
Can the state Supreme Court put Gail Horn-Ray back in place?
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. All the while, why is it so important that Gail Horn-Ray get this case?
What do you mean?
Like, if a judge is assigned a case, what does it matter what judge it is?
I think the argument is it's less important about her. It's more important about your from the defense standpoint. They're looking at the DA's office and saying you're judge shopping. And that's not right. That's not lawful. That's not fair. That's not just.
Okay.
That's a fair
answer.
Right.
The other part of this is, let's not forget that there was a woman who was hunted and left for dead. The accusation of rape in between.
Hold on.
Hang on.
They're not accused of killing her.
No, I know. I know, but there was a woman who was hunted and then left for dead. The accusation happens in between those two things.
Hunted presupposes the decision you've already made about the guilt of these guys.
No, not at all.
Hunted
presupposes that she was out of her wits in a parking lot, and they were
So
rolling through parking lots looking for exactly that scenario.
Do you believe that that's what happened? So you're not guessing on this jury because you can't
No.
be fair and impartial.
No, absolutely not.
Right. Okay.
All right, we were way past 6:50. He's Franz
Love you guys.
Borghardt. We do legally serve this time. Love you too, Franz. All right, we blew right past your money now. So I tell you what, we'll go ahead and catch a break real quick. Hang on before we catch that break. Want to tee up what's coming up on the rundown. Last night when I posted up on Twitter, I said Senator Bill Cassidy was going to be on at 7:00. He's been called into a meeting in the White House, so he's big timing us for the president. Can't say I blame him. The business of the nation obviously comes first, and the meeting, by the way, is about putting it into the shutdown. So we will not have Senator Cassidy after news. We will have top stories and trending after news, traffic, and weather. I need you to pay attention when he's in here because he starts screaming into the microphone. And when he screams into the microphone, it clips and it's inaudible at that point. It can't go through a compressor at that point. Don't squash my dreams, Troy. Galen, nothing in the story says she got the text. So I don't know. We're going to go with the 3 Rouge cuts that I sent you first.
Keeping it with legally served, did you see Kim Kardashian failed her law exam?
I did
Because
not.
of Chat GPT. She's blaming Chat GPT.
I did not see that.
Yeah, she was asking for legal advice while studying for some law exams.
Okay.
Yep. Now she's complaining that it's ChatGPT's fault for the reason that she failed.
Well, I wonder what her grades are like if she's going to law school. .654 Talk 107.3 Talk 107.3 FM. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Thanks again to Franz Borghardt for popping in for Legally Served. That'll be available on demand at talk1073.com after the show is over with today. Getting you back to the top news of the day, and that is LSU has a new system president and essentially a new chancellor as well. Before we dive back in on that, got to remind you about the folks over at Mathern's. Brand new deal of the week this week at Mathern's. That's a 14-ounce package of Veron sausage for just $3.99. $10 minimum purchase required. But if you download the Mathern's Rewards app, you get these deals fed right to you every single week. And that's the top one. There are a handful of them every week. In fact, let me go ahead and open my app right now. We go ahead and open my Mathern's Rewards app right now, see what else is going on as far as the deals are concerned. I love this because it's dollar here, dollar there. Before you know it, you start saving some real money on your grocery list. How about 2 liters of Minute Maid Pink Lemonade? The 2 liters is coming your way for $2. The same thing with the regular lemonade. Actually, there's a number of soft drinks on sale right now, 2 liters for $2. If you download the Mathern's Rewards app, you can build out your shopping list online or scroll through the weekly ads, see what you want. Either way, you're earning cash towards more groceries every time you shop with the Mathern's Rewards app. All right, the big news yesterday, Wade Rouge is him. The LSU Board of Supervisors naming the McNeese State University president as the next president of the LSU system. Not only that, but we're going back to having what is essentially a chancellor's role. One of the other finalists, Alabama Provost Jim Dalton, has been named as the executive vice president. Rouge made it clear during the interview process that he felt for LSU to become a better academic and research institution, both positions were a necessity.
Throughout the process, I've been able to articulate a vision that I think can be used to elevate the way we educate Louisiana.
And I don't know if this is one of those scenarios where the grass is always greener on whichever side of the fence you're not on, right? If the grass is always greener on the other side. But when we had a president and a chancellor, they wanted to consolidate. And then they consolidated, bringing around a little over a decade later, and we're separating again. And maybe we just learned over time that having a system president is important for the system, especially when we're bringing in a guy from McNeese who has done remarkable things on the workforce front when it comes to specifically the LNG space. I mean, look at what's going on in Lake Charles right now with the things that Rouge has set up at McNeese. Well, as a research institution at the flagship, yeah, you want that. But LSUS, LSUE, LSUA, LSU Med School, all the things that LSU all the things that fall under the LSU flag are going to have their own particular strengths and weaknesses. So you need someone to maximize those strengths by letting flagship be flagship. I like the move, by the way. The vote was 12-1 to hire Rouge. Board of Supervisors Chairman Scott Ballard announced Rouge as the next president after the board spent about 3 hours in executive session.
The board is confident that Dr. Rouge possesses the energy, insight, and integrity to guide LSU through this defining chapter in its history.
By the way, Ballard's going to join us 7:15 Friday morning. Tried to get him locked down before that, but after the board meeting, he had to get back to his real job. In 2012, is when they separated the LSU system president and campus chancellor. That's when they combined the two posts. As far as separating them again, let's go to Jim Dalton. He's been Alabama's provost since 2020, has a background in pharmacy and developing prescription drugs, and excited about moving from Tuscaloosa right here.
I cannot imagine a more perfect partnership with Dr. Rouge, him looking at the presidential role at the system office, me taking on leadership of the Baton Rouge campus, the Ag Center, the 2 health science centers, and Pennington Biomedical Research Center.
Oh, he said the magic word right there, boss. Pennington Biomedical Research Center. That is a big player, big factor in making sure we're maximizing LSU. Y'all know I love the relationship we have with Pennington. We bring them in once a month to talk about the great things they've got going on. So if Jim Dalton on day one highlights them, you know they're going to get the love that they need. Hour 2 is coming up next. It's 7 o'clock. Damn it. All right, I missed a story that would have completely changed the argument with Franz. He brought up judge shopping at the end, and I was too busy looking at the clock to stay on time because I knew we were going to run over.
Yeah.
He brought up judge shopping, and the question then becomes, wasn't Carver judge shopping in the first place? Because the Carver requested his case be heard by Judge Gail Hornray. Like, he requested that the jury be waived and the case be heard by a judge.
Yeah.
Like, or be heard by Judge Gail Hornray. Why would you request to remove the jury unless you felt strongly that this rapist's mother was going to be sympathize with a rapist? Allegedly.
Allegedly. It's important.
Oh. 704 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. JP producing, coming to you live from the 180 Pros studio. Check them out at 180pros.com. Time to give your IT a 180 with 180 Pros. We're starting off the second hour at 48 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. Could be another gorgeous day out there throughout the capital area. I got a lot of ground to cover this hour. Brenden Buck is going to join us in our next segment. We're going to talk about the healthcare tax credit expiration and, well, really what it is, what it's about, and how to, kind of tread water as we get through this. Also this hour, Lauren Griffin from the LSU Alumni Association going to join us at 7:35. Can't wait to dig in on this conversation as we're going to ask Lauren a whole bunch of questions about the new president, the new chancellor, and where the Alumni Association can best utilize new relationships to help grow old relationships. That's all coming your way later on this hour. Right now, though, top stories and trending.
Number 5.
One more monkey jumping on the bed. A second monkey's been shot and killed, authorities said. Oh, golly, that rhymed.
Oh, I like that.
Dude, I don't care. No.
You tried.
All right. Tuesday, there were the authorities announced yesterday they were still searching for a third missing monkey a week after an escape from a truck that overturned on a Mississippi highway. Somebody shot the monkey after seeing it cross the highway on Monday evening, about a mile from the scene of the October 28th crash. Jasper County Sheriff Randy Johnson said, Randy Johnson, the big unit? Johnson said he was contacted by a person with the transport company who recovered the monkey after a civilian shot it.
Number 4.
Oh, thank you so much, Mississippi. Can we send them a cookie bouquet or something? Oh, I think unpack this for just a second. And I know we're in the middle of top stories. Unpack this for just a second. There's just a random civilian driving up the highway, sees monkey, happens to be armed, by the way, Sees monkey, shoots monkey. Like, efficiently. All right. Sorry. Holiday shoppers heading to Tanger Outlet Mall will notice a few new feature on Highway 30. That's a roundabout designed to improve traffic flow and reduce congestion. It's located near Robert Wilson Drive and South St. Landry Avenue, the first of several planned upgrades along I-10 and surrounding roads in Ascension Parish. Going to end up with a handful, additional roundabouts, I should say, are planned on both sides of the interstate ramps on 30. Once all three are in operation, DOTD expects the drivers will see the full benefits of the smoother traffic flow.
Number 3.
Yesterday morning, Baton Rouge Fire Department received a Class 1 rating on its most recent Property Insurance Association of Louisiana test. The department has maintained a top rating since 1980, making it the only department in the United States to maintain this rating for so long.
Number 2.
Biggest story of the day yesterday, Wade Rouge was named the new president of LSU by the University Board of Supervisors. Rouge is the current president of McNeese State University, chosen to fill the position vacated by William Tate over the summer. James T. Dalton, who came over from Alabama, was another finalist for LSU president, has been named as the executive vice president and provost of LSU, basically making him the chancellor.
Number 1.
In his first act of business as the new president of the university system, Wade Rouge promoted Verge Osbury from interim to LSU's permanent athletic director. Osbury was an executive deputy athletic director under previous AD Scott Woodward. Osbury has been a staple on LSU's campus since the 80s when he played football.
Well, Zohran Mamdani claims victory in the New York City mayoral race and promises to be, quote, Trump's worst nightmare.
I have no doubt. By the way, just an open-ended call to the folks in New York, okay? As you find that capitalism is going to be threatened at every corner, you don't have to be in New York. You can come find a new home. We here in Louisiana believe that the money you worked hard for is yours. We here in Louisiana believe that you can't just give away free stuff all willy-nilly left and right. You want to keep your money. We've reduced our personal income tax down to 3%. We're on our way to 0. So New Yorkers, give us a look.
There we go.
Yep.
In other news, tragic news here, at least 7 people were killed when a UPS plane crashed in Louisville yesterday, shortly after takeoff.
And that number could go up. NTSB is on the scene. They're doing the investigation. There's 11 that are known that are injured. Yeah. It's the unknowns that we don't know.
That's right.
Yes, I know. It's the unknowns that we don't know. They don't know if there's other people involved.
That's right. Unfortunately, the federal government shutdown is now at a new record, 36 days.
Let's go. Right now, this very moment, right now at 7:10 Central Time, 8:10 Eastern, in the White House, there's a meeting going on. President Donald Trump has called a handful or so of folks together to talk about finding a way out of this bad boy. How do we put an end to this? Enough is enough. The elections are over with. Democrats and Republicans no longer need to use the shutdown as an election tool, which honestly, that's going to happen every time. Was it James Carville that said never let a good crisis go to waste? I might be misquoting James Carville there. But either way, it's time to put down the swords on both sides. It's time to get back to business. How do they go about doing that? Well, Senator Cassidy was supposed to be on with us right now, but he's in that meeting. He had to cancel his interview with us because the president called on him and said, "Hey, Billy Boy." I think that's what he calls him. You think he calls him Billy Boy? I don't know.
Oh my God.
Oh, and the president's got nicknames for people.
He does.
I don't know what he call him. Doc. Probably just call him Doc. Anyway, that meeting's happening right now. Hopefully something will come of it. We're at 7:11 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Speaking of the shutdown, we're going to talk about healthcare tax credits expiring in just a minute. Before we get you to break, though, 180 Pros, 180pros.com is the website. If your IT provider isn't providing, if you want to upgrade that relationship to an IT partner, give 180pros.com a look. Or, you know what, just straight up call them. They are local, okay? You're not going to call like an 800 number and get patched into somebody who is overseas and can't help you. Call 225-330-2200, 225-330-2200. You want to talk about a business that is trusted by businesses across the state. Years of expertise, successfully managing and optimizing IT networks for companies of all sizes. Cybersecurity is of the utmost importance right now. And they're on the forefront with it. 180pros.com.
far as pet names go, I'm sure it's not Psycho Bill.
No, it's not Psycho Bill. But what I find interesting is you have every candidate in the Senate race clamoring to be the closest to Trump. I'm the Trumpiest Trumper out there.
Yeah.
Well, the president's actually calling on the guy that voted to impeach him. I mean,
Yeah. So Brendan will be calling in?
Hmm?
Brendan will be calling in?
Supposed to be. Oh, 714, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Going to talk about the a group called Keep Americans Covered with Brenden Buck in just a moment. He's a partner at 7 Letter and the spokesperson for Keep Americans Covered. Want to talk about the healthcare tax credits expiration and the effect that it's going to have out there in the marketplace. Looking to get him on any moment now. Do need to remind you about the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. FlyBTR.com is the website, FlyBTR.com. You know, now more than ever, I need to stress, when I talk about the Baton Rouge Metro Airport, one of the things that I absolutely love about it is, as a metro airport, it's not going to be overrun like you would be at, like, Dulles or DFW, Atlanta. Like, as a metro airport, you can walk in, and now more than ever, with the government shutdown and TSA agents being overworked everywhere, I would argue the TSA experience at Baton Rouge Airport is pleasurable. It's friendly. It's kind. It shows at a time like this. Direct flights to DC every morning. In fact, that was Wheels Up at 6:40. Wow, that's early. Wheels Up at 6:40 for the direct flight to DC. It's already in the air, headed towards our nation's capital right now. That's how I'm going to get to Washington Mardi Gras in January, is by flying out of BTR, flybtr.com. All right, we need to check in with Brenden Buck, talking about Keep Americans Covered. Brenden, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well as well. All right, let's dive into it. Let's talk about some of these healthcare tax credits expiring. I want to start off with what are EPTCs?
So anybody who doesn't get their health care from a job or from a government program probably goes on the marketplace, the federal or state exchanges, and buys health care. And as you know, health care is pretty expensive. And if you get it from a job, it gets subsidized either by your employer and or by the taxpayer. But if you buy it on your own, there's also a subsidy that helps pay down the cost of health insurance. And in 2021, Congress increased that amount of that subsidy, and it's made it a lot more affordable, and a lot more people have signed up to get health care that otherwise didn't have it. The issue is that those what we call enhanced tax credits are about to expire, and they expire at the end of this year. So anybody who's buying a health plan for next year is now going on to your healthcare.gov and finding that health care is way more expensive than it was last year. And so there's a debate going on in Congress right now about whether or not to extend that tax credit to keep costs down. And that's what we're trying to do.
So the enhanced premium tax credit is this is basically the crux of the whole shutdown.
It has found itself at the center of the shutdown. Yeah, Democrats have made a point on this issue, but the issue I like to stress, there are lots of Republicans who think that this tax credit should be extended too. There's just an issue of whether or not Republicans feel like they need to pay a price to keep the government open, and that's sort of the dispute at the moment.
Well, yeah. I don't want to get into the politics of the shutdown because on the Republican side, they want Democrats to come to the table with an open government to have negotiations about what the Affordable Care Act marketplace looks like in the future, and that's where you start to get into all the nuance of it. So let's get into, instead of the politics, let's get into kind of numbers of how many people are on these rolls.
So nationally, there are 24 million people who are enrolled in one of these marketplace plans. And that number has gone up significantly since the tax credit was increased. It just was a matter that the coverage before was just really expensive, and a lot of people weren't buying it. And now it's much more expensive. And when I say that the tax credit is going away and things are going to get more expensive, I don't mean a little bit. I mean a lot. So if you're down in Louisiana and you're a family of four, you're kind of middle class, you're making $129,000 a year. This tax credit goes away. You got to find almost $3,000 more just to keep the coverage you have. Or excuse me, that's for somebody making $64,000 a year. So I don't know how many people making $64,000 a year with two kids have $3,000 sitting around just to keep the coverage that they already have.
Right.
If you're up in that middle level of 130,000 or so, you're probably talking double that, $7,000 or so, just to keep the coverage that you have. That's just an impossible situation for many people, given the cost increases that we've seen over the last few years. And it's a lot of people. Louisiana is one of those states. You don't have Medicaid expansion, so this has been a place where a lot of people have gone to get health care. And there's a lot of people who are impacted. And nationally, I don't know what the number would be in Louisiana specifically, but nationally, we think 4 or 5 million people are going to lose coverage, not because they've been changed the eligibility and they're no longer eligible, just because it is so expensive they can't afford it. And that's going to be the situation in Louisiana. Anybody, there will be people who can't afford it and lose coverage, but for everybody else who does manage to find a way to pay for it, it's just going to be a lot more expensive, and they're going to have to make a lot of choices in their family budget.
With the tax credit, I understand how a tax credit can come back to you, but on the day-to-day basis, on the month-to-month budget, does the tax credit make it more affordable?
So the way it works is you go into healthcare.gov and you would take a look at plans that are available to you, and you will see a number that accounts for whatever the tax credit is. And there's some debate about whether the money should go straight to the consumer and then they use it to pay for their health insurance. I think just for ease of use, Congress decided years ago that it would be easier to just have it run all through one thing where you only see what you pay. So, let's say that as a family, you were paying $200 a month the last few years for your health care. The tax credit is already sort of rolled into that. The health insurance you're getting is much more expensive than that, but you pay $200 a month. Now, if you go onto healthcare.gov and you want to sign up for a plan for next year, maybe just the same plan that you had, maybe now it's $600 a month. And so that there's that difference between what the tax credit was rolled into your premium, how much you're paying. The tax credit is going way down. That means your premiums are going way up. It's something you don't even need to reconcile on your taxes. It just shows up in how much you pay in your premium.
Okay. So that's where the savings rolled in. So when we call it a tax credit, it's applied throughout.
Yeah, it's applied directly, and you don't have to touch it.
What are the effects of the tax credits on the overall cost of healthcare? Because I don't have the EPTCs. My healthcare comes through the company I work for, but I know darn well my premiums go up ridiculously, and my company goes to great lengths to keep them as low as they possibly can. But I feel like the overall cost of the overall buy-in here is going up for everybody regardless.
Well, look, there's a lot broken in our healthcare system, and it is way too expensive, and I'm not going to tell you otherwise.
Right.
And there's a lot of reasons why it's going up. basically everything throughout healthcare is getting more expensive. But one of the ways that this issue has sort of found itself adding to that problem, let's set aside the fact that your premiums are just going to go up because that tax credit is smaller. But it has also had the effect of making those sort of underlying premiums, how much it costs in general, go up, because health insurers have had to assume that the tax credit is going away. Every year, they set the premiums, they set the rates. And they had to assume, because this is what the law is and Congress hasn't done anything, that this tax credit is going to go away. When something like that happens and healthcare gets more expensive, you know who the first people who don't buy health insurance are? The younger, the healthier people, the people who cost less, and people who end up saying, I have to have it, I have to buy it, are those older people with health conditions, the more expensive people to cover. And so you get this vicious cycle where, because the tax credit is going away, you're expecting costs to go up. You expect the younger, healthier people who help bring costs down because they don't cost very much to insure and they're all in the same pool. They go away, costs get more expensive, and then it becomes this problem where more and more the younger, healthier people say, it's not worth it for me. I'm going to risk it. And the older, sicker people get in the risk pool, and it gets higher and higher and higher costs. And so that's not a good solution. And there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done in healthcare. And Donald Trump has talked about how he wants to fix the healthcare system. That's all good and fine, but I don't think that's going to happen in the next 6 weeks when the tax credit is going to expire. So what we're saying is, whatever the long-term solution to healthcare is, that's fine. But in the meantime, don't make millions of families have to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars more every month just to keep the care they have.
All right. How much of this problem has nothing to do with healthcare at all? How much of this problem has to do with, let me figure out the right way to phrase this. By the way, we're talking with Brenden Buck from Keep Americans Covered. How much of this problem has to do with short-term deals equaling long-term uncertainty?
How do you mean?
I mean, like, you talk about healthcare providers mapping out their own futures, and when you see that programs like this could, expire in 6 weeks, expire at the end of the year, they don't know what's to come after that. If Congress gets back together and they hammer out another 1-year deal to keep the ACA up and running, to keep the tax credits up and running, that's only 1 year. How much of this should be redirected towards something that's a lot more permanent?
Yeah, well, look, the length of an extension is certainly something that is up in the air. I don't think these two things are mutually exclusive. I think you can work on healthcare reform and do things that will save money and bring down healthcare costs, while at the same time not making people pay the price. Now, certainly having a short-term solution is not ideal, but I would argue it's better than no solution at all.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, like, health insurance rates are very regulated. In fact, health insurance companies have to pay out a certain amount in benefits every year, or write you a check in this law, in this program. If they're spending too much on overhead or marketing or whatever, that money has to go back to you. So the issue is not necessarily that they can't figure out what the right rates are supposed to be for you. I mean, they know they're regulated and have to set those rates. The issue is just healthcare is really expensive as an underlying situation, and then we are making it sort of double whammy worse by taking away people's tax credit. So again, we can fix it. There are things that we can do, but that's going to take a little while, and frankly, nobody seems to be working on that at the moment. So it's going to take even longer than that. But Donald Trump has sort of, I think, put this issue on the spotlight. He's said that it needs to be fixed. I think that's great. It's just going to take a while.
Well, there's literally a meeting going on as we speak. Like, there's a meeting going on in the White House at this very moment. That's not hyperbole. That's like happening right now. And the meeting's about ending the shutdown, and this is going to be a big part of that. I want to gauge, we've got just a couple minutes left with Brenden Buck from Keep Americans Covered. Want to gauge your level of confidence that we do see something hammered out. Government gets back up and running, and they do get back to the negotiating table. We do see something get hammered out before time runs out.
Well, time running out is an open question. I mean, open enrollment has already begun. To have a plan for January 1st, you need to be enrolled in by December 15th. So we are hoping that they move quickly. There does seem to be some optimism in Washington. Who knows how seriously to take that, but this can't last forever, of course, the shutdown.
Right.
What I am encouraged by, as I said before, obviously Democrats have made this a priority, but there are a lot of Republicans and conservative Republicans who have looked at this and said, we got to do something here. We can't just let people have to pay hundreds or thousands of more dollars. And I would add, especially after, let's not pretend there's not politics in here. After the situation in last night in some of these elections, I think a lot of Republicans are going to say, wow, cost of living is really important. We should probably do something that makes sure that in the next couple of years, people aren't facing this situation. So we do have Republicans who want to do it. We do have Democrats who want to do it. The issue is, can we get the government shutdown out of the way and move quickly? I think we can. Absolutely, we can. And they're talking about some reforms to the program. Republicans have talked about wanting to make sure there's not fraud in it and that money's not going to people who, are too wealthy. Those are things that are all being discussed, and it feels like there is a real middle ground that they're going to be able to figure out. But the time is running short.
Yep.
We just need them to have some more urgency, and that's why we're hoping folks will let their members of Congress know that this is important to them.
You mentioned open enrollment, Brenden, and I want to go there next. Since open enrollment is open, how can folks going through open enrollment know what to expect if you don't know what the plan looks like 6 weeks from now?
Yeah, it's a real challenge, and we hope people will pay close attention to this. I mean, right now, if you go into healthcare.gov and look at what a plan would cost for you, it's going to be a lot more expensive, again, because the tax credit is programmed in there to expire. If we get a deal in the next few weeks, we believe that they'll be able to update those pretty quickly, and you can go in and change. And as long as, I think up until January 15th, you're allowed to change your plan too.
Okay.
So let's say you sign up for a plan right now just because you want to make sure that you got something, and they cut a deal and this tax credit is extended, your premiums are probably going to go down a lot. And so the question then becomes, do you need to re-enroll in a new plan, or are they just going to reduce that amount? I think those things need to be worked out by Congress and the administration when they do it. But the point is, if they get a deal, you will be able to achieve those savings next year. Your healthcare will not go up in the same way. But to have a plan start effective January 1st, you need to be enrolled by December 15th. And then I think you have until January 15th to change those things. Now, if they get a deal, they can mess with those dates.
Right.
They can extend it. They can do things. So the important thing is make sure that we get this extension passed, and then when it does, make sure people know about it so that they can go in and make sure that, maybe they looked at it and said, I don't know about that. But if they go back in 2 weeks and we've got an extension in place, it'll look a lot better and they'll be able to afford a plan.
Well, and that was the part that I was looking for there is, would folks be going through open enrollment, committing to something that they can't live up to on the back end, or would they be stuck in something that they want better on the back end? So I think you answered that one as well. He's Brenden Buck with Keep Americans Covered. The shutdown rolls on and there are repercussions of it. Brenden, I appreciate a couple minutes.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you. We're at 7:30 at Talk 107.3 FM at WBRP. Due up for a quick break. We'll check news, we'll check traffic, we'll check weather. About 5 minutes from right now, Lauren Griffin is with the LSU Alumni Association. A lot going on in her world right now. How do you tie it back into the alumni? How do you make plans for the future? I guess it got a lot easier with the direction that was put in place yesterday. We'll talk next. I screwed up. We got to move things around. Cheryl. 736 Talk 1073 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. This show is moving quickly this morning. We're going to flip some things around. I messed up on my rundown, and we've got the LSU Alumni Association coming up at 8:15, and we've got Cheryle Totten right now instead talking about youth legislature, which is coming up soon. Cheryle, good morning. Welcome to Talk 1073. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I am doing great.
Glad to have you on this morning. That's so little bit of history here. You're talking to an alum of Youth Ledge. I put 2 years in as a mock representative way back when I was in school. So I'm already a fan. Let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about what youth legislature is.
Well, yes, there's plenty of you out there because we've been around since 1978. The program started at Campfire USA in Baton Rouge, and we are still going strong. We are now an independent nonprofit away from any other nonprofits such as Boys and Girls Club, and then Big Buddy helped us out for a couple of years too. So we are now still growing, trying to accomplish some things and make a greater outreach to our state. I believe every middle school student in our state needs to have an experience like this for several reasons: to conquer some fears, to become civically engaged, and to also become an informed voter one day.
Did youth legislature always serve middle school? Because I was a participant in high school. When did it move?
No, it's always been a middle school program.
Okay.
There are other programs out there that serve to the high school, but we are a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade program.
All right.
And this year, I'm so excited to say numbers are coming in because our session starts February the 23rd. And we are now up to 45 schools with 3 or 4 schools still waiting to get their dates picked. And well over 2,000 students are planning to participate in Baton Rouge.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, we had 1,700 last year. The program still grows strong with adding new elements to the program to enrich the experience. The middle school students, for those of you who don't know what they do, they are currently writing speeches and bills at their school that we will put together in a bill book that each student and teacher will receive when they come to the session. It's a 2-day mock legislation where they actually attend committee meetings and write their bills. The Secretary of State, Miss Nancy Landry, is so gracious to us and provides us with real voting machines that we vote as adult voters use to vote absentee or early voting. So the students get that hands-on experience and vote for their candidates. And then they go into debating bills, and they actually present their bills in the House and Senate. And at our closing ceremony, I'm summing this all up. There's a lot more to it than what I'm saying, but we actually have a bill signing ceremony where the governor of that session signs bills into law, and then we induct people into Hall of Fame. It's just a wonderful. I can't say enough wonderful things about the program, to be honest.
Just to kind of cross reference, it's like taking a Louisiana history class and a civics class on steroids at the same time.
Absolutely. And the students actually are acting these roles out. I mean, they are doing it. They have done the research and the work, and so now they get to come and actually walk through the steps of what it takes to present bills and turn these bills into law.
We're going to get to some of the civic mindedness of this in a little bit, but as far as this is 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, I think there's a level of importance here to talk about just growing as a young person, meeting people from other places where you're not, getting outside of your bubble, and overcoming a lot of the well, I don't want to say fears, but stepping outside of your comfort zone, to be sure. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's definitely conquering fears. Middle school students are at a point in their life where I feel like or maybe some of them are kind of wandering around. Maybe they don't feel like they fit in certain groups, maybe, and not to use that word group is a strong word, but just finding their footing, and developing a foundation for a strong belief system that's going to carry them through the rest of their life. And this, to me, middle school is like a fertile ground. And if we can bring these students together from different parts of our state, and they can see that diversity in our state, because we do have a lot of different culture, beliefs, and things like that. We're just enriched that way. And to see students from those areas come together and share that, and then other students, I didn't realize that really happened here, kind of attitude. And then they get to know more about our state, but then when they stand up there in front of these same people and present their bill, they are conquering a lot of fear. They are finding that they have a voice, that when they persuade people to vote for their bill, they find that they have a way to persuade and they can make change. And they are our future. And our state deserves to have great leaders. And I believe that in middle school, these seeds get planted and that foundation gets really, really firm.
It's important to remember we're a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And a program like this is a reminder at a very young, or a learning experience at a very young age, that this is a people business. Government is a people business. And pitching your bill, supporting your bill, or lobbying for a friend's bill along the way is about building relationships. Doing this, as kids are in middle school about to tackle high school where things get really awkward. It's one of those foundations that I don't know that you could replicate in any other scenario.
You can't. And I think that's definitely what sets our program apart, is because it's an enriched, it's a nurturing program as well, because it just really opens their eyes to see what possibilities are really out there, things that maybe they weren't aware of just from, and not slighting, because my teachers are fantastic sponsors for these students. I mean, if it weren't for the teachers, it just wouldn't be possible. And so they actually take what these teachers have tried to show them through the classroom and act it out. But yes, it does. It sets them up for a couple of different things. And it is high school, because high school can be very scary for some.
Yeah.
But if they find their voice in middle school and realize that they have, some power to change some things and make a difference. One of the greatest things that I want them to learn with their experience at Youth Ledge is that they can conquer their fears and speak up in front of others. Conquer their fears and speak up in front of others. They will learn the importance of making change, because let's face it, our country and our state sometimes need some changes made. So they will learn the power of that and be encouraged to seek. Got to pause a moment.
You good?
They will seek research to find out what it takes to make those changes. Another thing is to become an informed voter. I mean, we just had Super Tuesday yesterday, and so I don't know how many people watched some of that, but it's important to go to the polls and be an informed voter and know why you're voting for this, and know if you can trust what that candidate is saying. So do your research on all of that, and that's good.
Talk with Cheryle Totten from Youth Legislature of Louisiana coming up. Cheryle, I want to talk about the kids themselves and some of their ideas. Surely you've gotten some firsthand looks at some of the good ideas that have come across. And I think we'd all be a little bit surprised, if not impressed, by what 6th, 7th, and 8th graders are pitching for bills.
Well, you'd be surprised. Of course, we do have 6 committees, and they have to pretty much stay within those committees, because, we are on a time schedule for 2 days, and it's jam-packed with a lot of activity. But we actually have bills, and some of the ones that are my favorite are the anti-bullying bills that middle school students are really aware of the mental damage bullying does in the schools, and not just mental, but the emotional damage. We have been, last year, actually, we had a bill written by a student that received some attention and from one of our senators, and he was somewhat interested in possibly authoring her bill into a real law, and it was about children riding motorized scooters and the wearing a helmet and being mandated to wear a helmet. And so I'm not sure how far that will go. But it did create some attention from our real legislators as a possibility of becoming something that Louisiana would support. That's not the first time either. Through the years, our bills have definitely, that the students have written, has caught the attention of our real legislators. But students are really concerned about pet cruelty and protecting our pets. And when it comes to wildlife and fisheries, how many days we can fish for red snapper and killing alligators and things like that. So they're very versed on what is happening in the state, and it's basically what's important to them.
Love it. Love everything about it. When does it start up, and is there still room for kids to sign up?
Oh, absolutely. We start February the 23rd. I'm proud to say that we are adding a session this year. We will have 9 sessions. Our first session begins February 23rd and 24th, and we end March 23rd and 24th. So we will be at the Old State Capitol. Every day that we have a session, we have 2 sessions a week, and we will hopefully, I'm really pushing to try to take and create other locations around our state for this program. I have some regions broken up on the map and or lines drawn for that, and hopefully we can do what we do in Baton Rouge in other locations of our state. I'm really hoping to take down the barriers of travel time for some of these students.
Yep.
We've had schools as far as Bossier City attend before, and it just is difficult for them to make that travel.
Yes.
And also have an overnight stay in Baton Rouge. So I want to bring this program to different regions in our state, all corners of our state, because there's a lot of middle school students out there that have some amazing ideas, and this truly gives them the place to express that.
It is the absolute deep dive. Learn more at youthlegislatureoflouisiana.org. She's Cheryle Totten. We appreciate a couple minutes this morning.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this time.
Thank you. Here's your money now. I could have gone. I want to know what I took part in, because it was called Youth Ledge. I don't know what makes it a different program or whatever, but I did Youth Ledge junior and senior year of high school. Mine was the YMCA. YMCA Youth, Louisiana Youth and Government hosts the Youth Legislator Conference, a 3-day event for students to participate in mock government at all levels. So I was a representative and a lobbyist, which was a complete conflict of interest, totally unethical. I'll vote for your bill if you vote for mine. I need water. Oh, 7:55. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Need just a quick moment to remind you about the folks over at NeuroJust. If you're battling with anxiety or depression, or someone have a loved one who is, if thus far they've been treatment resistant, give NeuroJust a look. They specialize in transcranial magnetic stimulation. It's a completely different type of therapy. If the prescription drugs aren't working as well as they used to, or have side effects, if the sit down therapy isn't doing it for you, try TMS. TMS it sends magnetic pulses into the brain that focus on the areas of the brain that affect mood. It's non-invasive. It's completely safe. There are no side effects. FDA approved. It's a process that's sweeping the nation, and we have access to it right here at NeuroJust. NeuroJust.com. Time for this day in history. Let's roll.
Well, beginning in 1940.
Okay.
Franklin D. Roosevelt is reelected president for an unprecedented third term.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Third term. It's happened before.
It's happened before. Could we see it again?
I don't know.
We'll see what happens. Hey, this day, 1955. This is the date that Marty McFly returned to in Back to the Future.
Okay.
To go, make sure his parents get together.
That's right.
It was this day.
God, so gross.
Well, 1968.
How did George McFly ever live with it? Because he remembered that whole night, right?
Yeah.
The enchantment of the sea dance.
Yep.
He remembers that whole night. He remembers meeting Marty McFly. Marty McFly helped talk him into asking Lorraine out.
That's right.
But when Marty looks like Marty, how does George not say, hey, there's no way that he looks exactly like that guy that introduced us. If I'm George, I'm accusing Lorraine of sleeping with Marty back in the past.
That's right.
Or Calvin Klein, whatever his name was in the past.
That's what it was.
Be like, hey, you got some explaining to do.
That's it. Plot holes, man. Plot holes.
Oh, so many of them.
1968, Richard Nixon is elected president.
Yeah.
Let's see. Also keeping it with elections. 1996, voters in California re-elect Sonny Bono to U.S. Congress.
Awesome.
Sonny Bono. Jam Master Jay today, 2002, his funeral was held. And of course, he was murdered by an assassin's bullet on October 30th.
Yep.
A $30,000 reward was offered in connection with the murder, and to this day, nobody has ever been convicted of the killing.
Okay.
Man. Speaking of hip-hop, 2021.
Sure.
10 fans die, and hundreds more were injured during Travis Scott's performance at Astroworld in Houston.
Oh, that was awful.
Yeah, terrible. This day. Anything else on this day?
Yeah, this day in 1605, the gunpowder plot, man.
Oh.
You'll get to that on what day it is. So, but yes, that was this day in 1605.
Wow. And let's see. Well, it's been a year already since President Trump has taken office as well.
Well, reelected.
Sworn
in January.
Yeah. Let's see. Moving on to birthdays.
Yes, please.
What about Bryan Adams?
What about him?
Start there. The singer is it's his birthday today.
Okay.
Let's see. Also, actor Sam Rockwell. Art Garfunkel today as well.
Okay.
Simon and Garfunkel. And anybody else in Europe?
Yeah, I got a few more. We got Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Saw that.
A golfer, Bubba Watson. And got one more on the sports front, and that would be Jerry Stackhouse. But we had a couple more that Bill Walton. Bill Walton was who I was looking for there. It's his birthday today as well.
All right. Deaths. James Maxwell.
Okay.
Scottish mathematician who gave us electromagnetic radiation.
Okay.
And today is National. I'm sorry.
It's Guy Fawkes Day. Guy Fawkes Day.
Guy Fawkes.
Yes, go look it up. You'll recognize the mask immediately.
Okay.
Here comes the third hour next.
Guy Fawkes. At American Football Day. Oh, okay. Okay. A V for Vendetta. That's a good movie. Oh. Oh. Oh, you need
806 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now. Brian here with you, JP producing, coming to you live from the 180 Pros studio. 180 Pros, not your IT provider, your IT partner. Learn more at 180pros.com. 56 degrees to start off the third hour of the show this morning. We're diving right in. We moved up this day in history to free up some room for another a guest to hop on the show today, because this is one that hits home for a lot of us. I know it's important to me. If you look at Baton Rouge's riverfront, still got a gaping hole in it. Missing one of our favorites, missing one of our own, missing the USS Kidd as the restoration project continues. Les Nicholson is on the commission for that restoration project, joins us now. Les, how are you, man?
Well, I'm doing great, Brian. Nice to hear your voice.
Glad to have you on to be talking about it. Greatly appreciated. Okay, we're missing one of our favorites, man, and we have been for some time now. I know the restoration has been extensive, and once they got the kid down there to start working on it, they found even more damage than before. So walk us through what got us to where we are right now before we get around to our potential homecoming.
All right. Well, you're absolutely right, Brian. When the ship got into the Thomas C. shipyard in Houma, they discovered when they got it in dry dock, that's the first time you can really take a good look at the condition of a ship, that the hull had massive damage that no one had expected. The shipyard and the state's facility planning and control helped the commission dramatically. We rewrote the contract. We got that all taken care of. And that then changed the amount of work that needed to be done up top. The legislature this recently added more money, and we were able to completely restore the ship. It is now in beautiful condition. On November the 11th, it will come out of the dry dock at the shipyard and be floating in the water again for the first time in, well, almost a year and a half. Really exciting time for us, and the ship is just in beautiful shape. We can't wait to get it back to Baton Rouge.
November 11th would be a great day to put that thing back in the water. What a way to celebrate Veterans Day. Let's talk a little bit about the damage to the hull and just how extensive all this was, because a lot of work goes back into this that I don't think we fully appreciate the fact that it's 2025, and this is, if I'm not mistaken, the only destroyer left from that whole World War II configuration. So walk us through how specialized this work has had to be.
Well, you're absolutely right. The workers at the Thomas E. shipyard really were above and beyond. We had a competition among a variety of shipyards to find the best shipyard to do this work, because it was very challenging work. And Thomas E. came out on top, both in terms of price, in terms of commitment to the project, and the delivery that we've received from them has been spectacular. The ships, it turns out, this ship is over 80 years old. And as boaters know, metal ships in the water can be damaged by electricity. And it turned out this ship had, while it sat in Baton Rouge, not been as well protected against electrolysis damage, which is very hard to see and detect until you get the paint off. But that was the nature of the damage. There were tremendous holes in the hull worn there by the special cradle that the Kidd sits in.
Right.
The Kidd is the only ship displayed in a river setting like this, where the river level rises and falls up to 40 feet. Half the time of the year, the Kidd sits in its special cradle, high and dry, with people able to walk around it and see it. It is the only ship of that nature, and you are right, it is the only ship that is still in its World War II configuration. And with the recent restoration project and the new painting job, it looks exactly the way it did in 1945.
We're talking with Les Nicholson about the USS Kidd, where she's at right now, when she's going to be coming home. Les, want to talk about the work that was done. Are we able to project how long, because I mean, everything has a lifespan, right? Are we able to project how long this work will last?
We can.
Okay. That's a fair answer.
We're
Good.
pretty confident this work will last for about another 50 years, more or less.
Okay. Yeah, longer than you and me, I think is the answer to that question. All right, now let's talk about getting her back home. Going to be dropped back in the water on November 11th. This is an important part of the story, is why the kid can't just come back up the river at that time.
All right. The river level in the Mississippi has to be at about 33 to 35 feet before the ship can be floated back into its cradle. The ship has no engines. It has to be towed, maneuvered by tugs, and to get it in and out of its cradle is a very exacting, delicate job. And the river is unlikely to be at the level required until next spring. We really won't know for sure until the Corps of Engineers gives us forecasts based on water levels upstream when we will be able to have her towed back to Baton Rouge. She will be towed down the Houma Navigation Channel into the Gulf of Mexico, then across the Gulf of Mexico, up the Mississippi River, and the Coast Guard will supervise that very closely because you would never want anything to go wrong with the ship being towed in the middle of the nation's biggest highway.
Very true. Very true. How long would that process take? How long would that trip take?
It takes about 2 days if the weather's good, and we won't do it if the weather's bad.
No, obviously, yeah, obviously. And it will need to be towed, though, right? I mean, you can't just fire this bad boy up and get her, get it back running on its own.
Yes, and it will be towed back the same way it was towed to the shipyard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot easier now. When the ship was being towed to the shipyard, it had probably 27 different major leaks as a result of the hull rubbing against the cradle over the 40 years that it sat in that cradle. Ships are not designed to sit in cradles. They are designed to float evenly in water.
Yeah.
So the hull in those areas had been badly worn. Before we took it to the shipyard, we were running pumps 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to, in fact, deal with the water intrusion. If we had not gotten the ship out when we did, we might have lost the ship. It was very close. The river level was falling very fast, and the level needed to get it out was getting close to being reached. We had undersea divers who had to cut off half the rudder to, in fact, get the ship out of the cradle and then safely on its way. But we had to stop at the McKinney dockyard and have undersea patches put all over the ship because the Coast Guard, again, was very concerned about the safety of the Mississippi River and the safety of the ship. So that delayed its absolute departure for the shipyard, but everything went beautifully on the way. We had no problems, and it went up in the dry dock just as everyone intended.
Okay, so you said everything went smoothly, but it doesn't sound like you would know until you get there that this may have been a very tenuous trip.
It was a very tenuous trip. We had safety people on the boat. They were the only people allowed to be on the ship that was being towed, and were being closely monitored by the Coast Guard and, of course, by the towing specialists and the salvage specialists. We had to bring in extra specialists from around the world because there had been a lot of silting in the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
And so the depth levels were not what you would have liked to have had. And it just became a very dicey operation getting her out of the cradle. It was about a 6-hour operation on an early morning in April. And I think we were all sweating, although it was chilly.
I would imagine so. He is Les Nicholson. As we get closer to the date, once we're able to, project snow runoff and everything else that leads to the river rising, let's get you back on and talk about this a lot more, because I know it's for as many years as the kid has been a staple on Baton Rouge's riverfront. It's been she's been sorely missed.
it's a wonderful part of Baton Rouge, and as chairman of this commission, I'm really pleased and honored to be involved in bringing and continuing its life as part of the Baton Rouge community.
Looking forward to it. Les, always appreciate a couple minutes, man. Talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks again, Brian. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yep. 816 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. I'm running long here, but I do need to tell you about the folks over at Breck. Breck.org is their home base. Love telling you about the rapid response ticket system. I've told you about that a number of times. 225-310 Breck is the phone number. 225-310 Breck, BREC. If you spot something that's amiss, something broken, something wrong, something not functioning at one of their parks, any of the Breck facilities, you can let them know. You can give them a heads up right away so they can get on it, they can get it fixed. Chance to be the eyes and ears for Breck a little bit to make things a little bit more efficient. In the meanwhile, we know the holidays are coming up right around the corner. Thanksgiving is, well, we're already in November. And then, of course, over the holiday break in December as well, Christmas break in December. If you don't yet know what to do with your kids over that time, Breck's got camps for you. Learn more at Breck.org. It's not too late to sign up. It's not too soon to sign up. Holiday camps are available at Breck.org. Y'all come on in. I'm defunking my microphone. No, I have not met John Schiller. All right. How are you? Nice to meet you.
John's our chief of staff.
Awesome.
So
I didn't bother asking for talking points. I figured most of the discussion would be revolved around building out relationships with the new guys. And
we'll touch on that for a second. I don't want to spend too much time on it.
Okay.
But it's okay. I'll guide you through that a little bit.
Yeah, there's no way we can't.
I know that, and I'm prepared.
Oh. When are we going?
Okay, he texted me yesterday. What do you want? I don't even know what that is.
I think we're voting on awards.
Well, then we'll just link up our schedules. He said anonymous voting, and you got to be hush hush about it. I'm like, whatever you need.
Yeah.
The LTA, Louisiana Travel Association. Chris Landry. Okay, so we just go over there at any time. I'm confused.
Yeah, so let me make sure with him because I don't know if he needs to be there or if we're just going there or what. But
whatever we can get to, we'll get to.
Okay. Wait, what grant program? Recent. Grad program, not grant.
I know we're gonna have to talk about it, but
No.
you scared them.
So remember back when we first started?
I know, but I was like, holy crap.
When I did,
he texted me at 7:23. He's like, where are you? I was like,
But like, I keep an old school paper calendar and I write it out, my monthly stuff I write out at the beginning of the month. So I had y'all already written down there and I never went back and changed it because I'm a moron.
no,
Yes.
I was just like, I was in the coffee line and I was like, I'll be there whenever you need me to run over there. Like,
Well, you would have never made it, but
call in, whatever.
John Schiller. What was your title again, sir?
Chief of staff.
Chief of staff. 819 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Time to get caught up with the LSU Alumni Association. Been a busy week over there on campus, but they're always busy at the LSU Alumni Association. Welcoming back Lauren Griffin and welcoming in John Schiller. He's the chief of staff over there. How y'all doing this morning?
Hey, morning.
Doing great. Thank you.
Glad to have you all in. We've got a lot to talk about, but there's no way we don't start off with the news of the week because it's important overall, right? I mean, so walk us through a little bit about, the Board of Supervisors does what they do. This doesn't really, y'all's office doesn't really dive in on this.
That's kind of the best part of everything. So, we talk a lot about how the Alumni Association is it's a standalone entity, obviously, right? We're a nonprofit, just like TAF or the foundation. So
right.
There's those three, fundraising arms for campus. But the best part about us is that we can be that steady constant, right? All the time. The ebbs and flows of athletics, the ebbs and flows within the president's office, that we support. It's part of being an LSU Tiger, but the Alumni Association is the constant where people can come back and remember their traditions and get connected across the country. And we just we are there all the time. So it's kind of doesn't affect, it affects us, but it doesn't really, because we serve the alumni.
Well, okay, so here's where I wanted to go with this, and I was debating if I was even going to bring it up. So don't be mad at me, please. All right. Regardless of any search for any position, this has got to fire up alumni everywhere. Like, those who went to LSU get more actively involved when LSU's in the news.
Of course.
So this is a spark. This is a reason for them to call you, not you to call them.
There's been some calls. There's been some calls.
I would imagine. But overall, I mean, when you hear about LSU this much, it's always good to be in the news.
Absolutely. So. Yeah. All news is good news.
Right.
And look, we're excited, right? We're excited about the future. We have always kept good relationships on campus, just in order to do what we do across the country. That's really what it is.
Well, then let's talk about that a little bit. I want to start off with the recent grad program, where we're at with it and where it's headed.
Yeah. So through this series, we've talked about kind of the life cycle of the alumni. And so last time we were here, we talked about making sure that the students, before they come on campus, know who we are and love us. And so then what happens when they get out of school? So, John has come in to our team, about 5 months?
Well, 6 months now.
6 months. Wow. And has really taken hold of, I run the development and fundraising team, but he's over our entire staff, obviously. And so just kind of taking hold on, like, what do our on-campus, like, LSU programming and recent grad programming look like? And what are we doing for that student as they leave?
Right. So the student engagement, we have those 4 years or 6 years of the students being there. And then after that, we really want, while they're there, we really want them to understand what the Alumni Association is doing for us.
Yeah.
So with that, they're doing for them and us. And with that, when they get out, they automatically jump into being an alumni.
Right.
And they got 5 years to be a recent grad, which is great, which will help them. If they move away to a different part of the country, if they go to Dallas, they'll be able to connect with the Dallas chapter and figure out, hey, I'm brand new to the area. Where's a good place to live? What dentist should I go to? That type of deal. And then obviously watch parties and all that type of stuff to keep them connected and networking.
That early on, you never really think about alumni that early on,
right?
Because you'd think about alumni when you're looking way back on the days. I mean, your focus at that point is establishing yourself in your career.
That's kind of the point, though,
right? And this is where I'm loving this path, because where this goes is, as you're just leaving the university, you're looking to plant your flag somewhere, or just keep above water somewhere as you start that next chapter of life. LSU's Alumni Association is going more than an extra mile to make sure we're taking care of our own.
That's right. We continue to talk about Tigers hiring Tigers here across the country. It obviously is easier to do that here in Baton Rouge because we all have that network. But perpetuating that as people leave, which we don't want, but it happens, right? And so we want to have that safe space and network for them. So this LSUTigerNation.com, I wrote down there on your notes for you.
I see it right there.
So that is essentially a platform that's like a LinkedIn for Tigers.
Yes.
Okay. And so we kicked that off a bit ago, and we're, testing it and getting some folks in there. And, but, essentially we want that to be the full networking platform for Tigers to hire each other, to find out what events are going on, to connect with your chapter, to get mentorship, to be a mentee if you're trying to give back.
Yeah, in the add to it, though, we talked about the 4 years while the student's there. This area, TigerNation.com, allows to help them connect with businesses that are owned by Tigers, and opportunities for networking, internships. So even though they're on campus and they're not an alum yet, they can see what's going on with the Alumni Association and help them with their career.
Well, and maybe it's exposure to something they might not have known about.
Right.
Exactly.
But we're working hand in hand with the Olin Career Center, and it's kind of taking, on campus, and then what's the next step after you leave. So
where are we in terms of you say you hate to see folks leave, but they're it does happen from time to time. But at the same time, though, when they leave, that's the best way to recruit new students to come in.
So it's honestly, it's a great, that's my story, right? My parents are both alums. I grew up in Southern California, and I grew up such a Tiger fan that I came back here.
Mhm.
And so, yes, we love Baton Rouge. We want it to be a strong economy. We want people to stay here and continue to thrive. But as they leave, it's a great thing for Tiger fans to be across the country to then pull people back here.
Right.
So
Those two things work hand in hand. Now, aside from the online version, how much can we get offline into real life to make these same things happen, via actual connection?
I love that you asked that. We have Summer Networking on the Go series.
Mhm.
So, we'll be kicking off, and we've done this a couple years, but we're going to put a good amount of effort into spreading this across the country. So I think we'll be in Chicago,
New York,
Atlanta. I should have been prepped for this.
yeah, Memphis. No, not Memphis.
Nashville.
Dallas.
Yes. Anyway,
and
all that to say, is an opportunity for people to come together and network specifically for your career. Are you trying to build a book of business, right? Are you trying to hire? So it's open to all ages, because if you're an established professional, but you're looking for talent, we'll hire within the LSU network, right?
Right.
So we'll give you more dates on that.
How big are we in these cities? Just not exact numbers, but rough estimates. I mean, like
Hundreds and
Atlanta,
hundreds.
we got.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, Chicago's a lot more than just T-Bob.
We miss him.
I do. I miss
We
him
do
all the
need
time.
to connect into the chapter. Actually,
Yes,
that's a
you
good
do.
idea.
Hey, look at that.
I agree. But I'll say this: Dallas and Houston. You talk about the students leaving.
Yeah.
The Baton Rouge area. This past year, we had 375 students, freshmen, coming in from Dallas, and then Houston, we had 350.
See, that's the turnaround I'm talking about right there.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. So can we grab them and keep them while they're here?
That's exactly what we
That's
wanted
the
to
goal right there. We always know the Houston chapter is probably outside of Louisiana, the biggest chapter is Houston.
It
right?
is, right?
Yeah.
It's Baton Rouge West, but I'll say our Dallas chapter is unbelievable. Our Atlanta chapter is incredible. Our Nashville is thriving. Our DC chapter is insane.
Really?
Oh my gosh, we have a great chapter in DC. Just people wanting to dig in and stay connected, and it's fantastic.
I wonder how that matriculation happens. It's more than just the federal government, right?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everybody.
Everybody.
It's a little taste of everyone.
Let's talk about some individual chapters then.
Sure.
Just from an open-ended perspective, where do you want to take that? Like, who are we looking to grow? Where are we looking to show a little love?
Okay, so the Houston chapter actually does have board positions open right now.
They do.
So that's actually, aside from just going to the events and participating in networking, if you actually want to get involved and serve on these boards and kind of have a say on the programming that goes on across the country, get in touch with us.
Okay.
So that's been a big push, but I think just keeping people connected and, just being a resource out there is really what we want.
Can we get I think we got a minute left. Can we get a quick calendar look for the rest of the year? How's the rest of the year map out for y'all?
Football season, we'll wrap that up.
You got Alabama this coming weekend,
We
traveling
do.
Tigers.
We do. We have a tailgate in Alabama. If anyone's interested in doing that, we'll go to Oklahoma. We have a tailgate out there too, so there's still signups left for that. And then mostly we just kind of wrap up the year slow and prep for next year. Yeah.
All good. All
Yeah,
good.
and we did just have our you talked about before, Tiger Nation Challenge
Mhm.
for all those that helped out raising funds for our different areas of concentration. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Wait, give me the backstory. Super quick into the backstory.
Super quick. It's a week-long fundraising campaign for us that was incredible. So it's just really to raise money for the programming that we do across the country. But it's over, but you could still definitely give and support that program for sure.
Understood.
But
Lauren Giff and John Schiller, thank you all so much for a couple minutes this morning. By the way, the website, once again, lsutigernation.com, lsutigernation.com. If you are an alum, I'll want to get in the mix for, I mean, it's not a full-on social networking, but like kind of
we're getting there.
launching pad. We're working towards it. lsutigernation.com. All right, we got to take a quick break. Checking news, checking traffic, checking weather, and believe it or not, we're going to talk hockey next on Talk 107.3 FM.
Nothing wrong with that.
That was way
Little
too
hockey.
fast.
So I know Scotty. I played hockey with Scotty.
Scott Robb? Yeah.
He's got a coach coming in, he said.
Yeah, he's coming over here next.
Oh, he's coming over here?
Oh, with you?
Yeah, after he's done with that.
Oh, really? You're the man. So again, just let me know. What time do you get off air in the mornings?
9 o'clock.
Nice
So,
to
I'm just
I didn't
gonna
know
tell.
where
I'll
you
text
voted.
both y'all.
Okay.
Like best tourism campaign or best
Okay.
hotel, best bed and breakfast, best, I don't know, chicken and waffles. I don't even know.
I feel like I have a conflict of interest, but okay.
Why?
I gotta vote for the cook.
In other cities.
Oh,
sure.
okay.
I'm sure we're not doing that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just put us on the text.
Yeah, we'll do.
Thanks so much, Brian. Always.
Thank you. Oh. Chad Bailey. We'll see y'all. Thanks, Lauren. Thanks, John. Yeah. There's great lengths being gone to properly light me to where I don't wash out. It's just very passive aggressive way to tell me I was too white. So come on in. Right there. And we'll get you right up on the mic. We got a couple minutes till we're back in. So well, that's okay. I've never played hockey before. I'll have headphones on though. Yeah, if you're not being picked up right. You're the second person to talk about that this morning. You know what? Let's do that in the last segment. About 10 minutes. I do have to hammer out a live read, a sponsorship read before we start. Huh. Love that. Oh yeah. We're always on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So
Well, you listen to the radio all the time, and it always flow like You don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You're just kind of hanging out.
That's yeah. Well, it depends on what time of the show you're on. I mean, you came in right after the entire like duck on the water scenario. My 7:35 guest was supposed to be on at 8:15, so I had to call my 8:15 guest and move them up to 7:35. My 7:05 guest had called into the White House for a meeting, so he had to cancel. So, well, yeah, so, Senator Cassidy. So, yeah, like completely pivot, ditch a segment and rebuild another one. Fortunately, that segment is just a standard news segment normally, so kind of already had it typed out from the previous hour. Were you already done with Condon? No. That's next? Okay. John Schiller, the chief of staff over at the LSU Alumni Association, says he plays hockey with Scott Robb. So, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Where at? Oh, it's like always there? Yeah. Right. Well, it's not like a basketball court. You can't swap it out for a gymnastics match.
Correct.
.837 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. It is almost hockey season. We're digging in there in just a minute, but I do need to remind you about the folks over at Landmark Bank. LandmarkBankLA.com is the website. Founded in 1897 as a community bank. Here in 2025, they are a community bank, sticking to that mission for over 100 years. Locations are available under the About Us tab over at LandmarkBankLA.com. You'll find the locations and hours over there. If there is a Landmark Bank in your community, you know how important it is to the community to not just have a bank, but a banker. Whether you're talking about your personal banking and where you want to be in 5 years, 10 years, whether you're talking about borrowing, investing, planning, they can help you out on a one-on-one level. The same people that you see at the grocery store, the same people you see at the ballpark, that's your banker. It's a relationship, and it starts at landmarkbankla.com. All right, it is just about, believe it or not, just about hockey season here in Baton Rouge. Joining us now to talk about that is the new coach of the Baton Rouge Zydeco, Chad Bailey. Chad, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well as well. Let's start with, I want to start with the Zydeco before moving over to you and your resume, your bio, what got you here. Let's start with this season's installment of the Zydeco. What can we expect?
I think you're going to expect some growing throughout the season. A lot of returning guys, but with a new coach, new system, it takes time for all of us to get on the same page and to get our details fine tuned. So, it's a bit of a slow start, but we're going to grow, and there's a lot of good that we're doing early in the season, and it just needs to develop a little bit more.
Does it help or hurt being in a place where we're not like a traditional hockey hub? So we're not going to understand the nuances of what you're trying to put in. We just want to see wins and fights, man.
I completely get that. It's entertainment as well as a game.
Yes.
And it's nothing I'm not used to. Being in Arizona, Texas, Wyoming, all things that are not exactly hockey commodities.
All right, well, let's pivot. Give us the resume, man. Where do you come from?
So I started with Arizona State's club team about 10 years ago. Was there for 3 years. Went up to Sheridan, Wyoming.
There could not be a more ironic mascot for a hockey team than a Sun Devil.
Correct.
That those two things, Sun and Devil, are both detrimental to ice.
Correct.
So, okay. I thought we were out of place in Baton Rouge. That's really out of place over there.
Yeah, 100%. And that's actually grown a ton there.
Mm-hmm.
They have an NCAA D1 team now.
Oh, wow.
That, is highly competitive every year. But, wanted to change things up a little bit. So I moved out to Wyoming.
Okay.
See the country a little bit, and found a beautiful town in Sheridan, Wyoming, and was there for 4 years before, not liking winter and going back south again and spending 2 years in Texas. So, I mean, for me, there's nothing better than wearing shorts to the rink every day. when it's hot, find that place to cool off and spend a couple hours.
Which is pretty awesome over at the Raising Cane's River Center. And, hockey season, of course, kind of coinciding a little bit with the holiday season. They'll open that up for public skating once we get closer to Christmas and whatnot. The Baton Rouge Zydeco, since making their way to Baton Rouge, have been nothing but excitement, have been nothing but good numbers with folks coming out. How's the reception been since you've gotten here?
So everyone's been awesome. They're super supportive of the team here. They love having the team here. Everybody loves to remind me that they went to Kingfish days as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
And it's not the Kingfish, but it's a new brand of hockey, and it's new excitement for people to get into and to come out to. And early in the year, it's still football season and basketball or not basketball starting. But hockey is going, and we'd love to have you guys out to games and to come check us out.
Give us an example or walk us through a little bit about, you said it's early on in the schedule. Where are we at right now as far as I know I don't want to look at the standings right now, but where are we at as far as putting together a team that long term is going to be your team?
So we're 5 games in right now. A majority of our guys are, guys that were here last year that will continue to stay. We might add a piece here or a piece there along the way, pending health and injuries and all that. But where we're at right now is just growing and getting to know each other and finding that camaraderie within our group to finish games. We're two mistakes away from having 2 more wins in our first 5 games, and that just comes with our growing and the growing pains early in the year.
We've got the Baton Rouge Zydeco coach Chad Bailey in with us. Talk a little bit about this year's Zydeco team. Going to be at the River Center this weekend, actually.
This Friday night.
Taking on Biloxi, which, just to be sure, Biloxi's a big rival here. This is as the team has grown here and the support has grown here, the distaste, it's not the hatred yet, but distaste for Biloxi seems to be rising to the top.
Yeah, I've heard that it's being so close that the teams do see each other a lot, and it's going to be a heated battle between us and them, and with a home and home, anything can happen. We're home Friday night, and then we're in Biloxi on Saturday. So first time we're doing that this year, and it's going to be a good test for us.
We're talking Baton Rouge Zydeco hockey, and I want to talk a little bit about the team itself, not so much from a who's who and whatnot. And hopefully, fans will get to know players as the season wears on. But this is kind of a different scenario. Is nobody on this team is from Baton Rouge?
Correct.
So walk me through a little bit about what it takes to bring guys together in a place that they might be unfamiliar with, aside from being on the ice.
At this level, a lot of them know, the hockey world is so small that they know somebody who knew somebody that played here, or their buddy brought them in to, or recommended that they come play here, and it worked out. We do have a couple of guys that do live in Baton Rouge now, full time, over the summer, and they stay here all summer.
Love that.
They've created a life here, and they're really bought into Baton Rouge and bringing Baton Rouge a championship here. And so those are the guys that I've wanted to build around, and they really help us in our locker room.
All right, give us a couple of the names we might be on the lookout for. I mean, there's a lot of novices out there. We got some guys that know hockey. We got a guy right down the hall who knows hockey inside and out. But give us some of the names we want to be on the lookout for in this year's roster.
I don't want to not call out anyone, but we got our captains, Tyler Larwood. He's returning back this year. Nick Catola, he's back for another year. Scotty Chirac is back for another year. Jake Cox, Kim Yetinen, Dmitry Kuznetsov. The list goes on and on of guys that have played here before, so that they could be familiar with.
All right,
and could be excited to see back this year.
Now, as far as hockey is concerned, the game itself on the ice, how different is it going to be this year under your leadership versus where it was before? As far for those that understand the game, for those that know the game, what's going to look different?
So we're we're a very detailed team, in our structure and in our systems. We want to play fast, and we want to go north, as we say. Get up the ice quick and be a very offensive team while also being very defensively sound. Like, there's going to be nights where we're winning games 3-2 or 3-1 because of our D zone structure and how we play the game.
Mhm.
Hopefully that we're scoring 4 or 5, maybe even 6 or 7. But our goal at the end of the night is to keep teams to 2 or less, and that gives us a really good chance to win a lot of games.
Since getting to Baton Rouge, how have you settled in?
I've settled in all right. Wife and kids are getting adjusted, and learning where everything is, learning where grocery stores are, Walmart is, all the necessities to find stuff. School has been great for our one son, and then the other 2 littles aren't there yet. So
Okay.
but they're figuring it out. They've come to a couple games already, and they're eating it up. It's a little, bigger arena, bigger experience, more of a show.
Has the response been what you expected
from
the fans, from the crowd?
Yeah, they're definitely passionate. They definitely care about their, not just hockey here, but I mean with LSU, they care about sports down here and they want to win, and nobody wants to win more than me. So I get that, I feel that, and we're doing everything in our power to make sure that we come out on top on Friday and Saturday night.
Since you have moved to Baton Rouge, what's the best thing you found in town so far?
The best thing I found in town, we eat at home a lot, but I know we're missing out.
Yeah, you are.
But you got 3 kids, and that goes a long way when you're able to eat at home.
No, understand that. I understand that completely. I absolutely do. I didn't have to be a restaurant though. Just like since getting to town, like, what did you not expect about Baton Rouge that, like, once you're here, you're like, oh, this is that?
If I had to go with one thing, can I plug somebody here?
Absolutely.
Okay, because my kids have loved Kids Strong since they've been down here. It's like a gym for kids.
Where is that?
They got one in Denham Springs. I think they
Okay.
got one in Baton Rouge somewhere else too. But
Okay.
they run them through a great course. It's like a 45-minute class where they get to run around. They do obstacles. They do a lot of different like personal skills, speaking, and like public speaking, and how to talk to people, and all while keeping them entertained, working out, and just getting them on that plan early.
The experience out at the Raising Cane's River Center is it's fun, it's fast, it's borderline interactive. I've been to a handful of games. Probably should go to more, but I've been to a handful of games, and it is always a good time. The Baton Rouge Zydeco are back at it. The season is already underway, and they will be at it on Friday night in the Raising Cane's River Center. He is Coach Chad Bailey. We appreciate a couple minutes this morning.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
No, absolutely. And good luck this season as well. All right. We have got to check your money now. After your money now, we will check traffic. After traffic, we're going to come back and close it out. Apparently, there's a big outage in town right now for Verizon. If you are a Verizon customer, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. We will see what we can learn about that and bring you the latest after we get back from our break. Do need to remind you that Talk 107.3 is your new home for Ken Trahan's original prep football report. Get live in-game updates, a full statewide scoreboard, and check-ins with correspondents from every corner of the state. Friday nights this fall from 6 to 11 p.m. Yes, that is a 5-hour show. That is not a typo. It's Ken Trahan's original, presented locally by Dr. Pepper and the Harold Perkins Jr. Tuition Program on Talk 107.3 FM. All right, time to check in on Wall Street, get the latest on your money now. We will be back right after this on Talk 107.3. Thank you much, sir.
Awesome.
Good job.
Thank you.
Well done. He's
All right.
summoning you down right now. Oh, Nelly. Are you Verizon? Do you have the outage? Okay. Well, good. Then I'm gonna call on you for this. Well, it says there's no major outage in town. Same. Ooh. Oh. I don't know what the feature today is. So much good shit. Les Nicholson's featured. Headline: When is the USS Kidd coming home? Mm. He said they found 27 different leaks. Yeah. Two fucking pages of promos is stupid. There's no way I can get to all, like, I have 9 live reads and 8 promos. Win big this holiday season. Talk 1073 and Citizens Bank and Trust want to cover your rent or mortgage in 2026 up to $15,000 $1,000. This is simple. Enter now at talk1073.com. Home for the Holidays is the name of the promotion. It's brought to you by Citizens Bank and Trust. Been a busy show today. So much good stuff. Chad Bailey was just on from the Zydeco. Cheryle Totten from Youth Ledge. Lauren Griffin, what was his last name? John Schiller from LSU Alumni Association. Brenden Buck talking healthcare tax credits. Les Nicholson from the USS Kidd. And, of course, everything started off this morning with attorney Franz Borghardt for Legally Served. All of that will be available on demand at talk1073.com after the show is over with today. Before we get you out of here, there has been numerous reports this morning of a Verizon outage. When Franz was in here, he was talking about his he was asking for the email password or the Wi-Fi password because he couldn't hop on Verizon. He was getting SOS. Chad Bailey, the coach from the Zydeco, was just on SOS. So apparently there's an outage right now. However, nobody knows anything about it as far as news outlets are concerned. I'm searching and searching and searching. And even AI is like, well, AI is all input dependent, but it tells me what an SOS message means. But apparently there is some level of a Verizon outage in town right now, in Baton Rouge right now, and affecting a number of customers. JP, you're a Verizon customer, correct?
Yeah, and I can't find anything.
Well, no.
As far as research goes.
What's on your phone?
Oh,
what is your phone?
SOS.
Is your phone saying SOS?
Yeah.
So
Like
you
you'll
are
see the-
basically not on the Verizon network right now.
Nope.
Okay.
Just
But
straight SOS. I don't know if you can see it from there, but
no, I can't see it from here.
come on.
Bro, I can barely see you from here.
What's because I'm in the dark?
Well, no, it's because my eyes are terrible. Yes, you're also in the dark.
I'm also.
But if you were experiencing it, there is apparently an SOS alert going out to, or an SOS as far as your network is concerned with Verizon that's going on this morning. Got to remind you about the folks over at 5-Star Printing and Signs, printshop5.com, printshop5.com. 271-4096 is the phone number if you need to get a hold of Danny and his team at 5-Star Printing and Signs. Who needs to hear about 5-Star Printing and Signs? Basically every business owner out there, or anybody whose job title includes finding business cards, printing business cards, finding and printing brochures, all of your signage. Vehicle wraps are available as well. They are physically located right next to Big Mike's in Denham, but they service the entire area. Give them a call, 271-4096. If your printed material is not remarkable, you're out of sight, out of mind. 271-4096. If you want to put your logo on merchandise to make sure your branding is ever present, 271-4096 for 5-Star Printing and Signs. All right, just as a quick heads up, later on this week, Scott Ballard is going to come on with us, the LSU Board of Supervisors, head of the Board of Supervisors. We're going to talk about the new president, what went into the selection and all that. That's coming up on Friday. Tomorrow, of course, we got Haggai in for a cup of tech gumbo. We'll have Crime Stoppers coming your way. Also Friday, if I'm not mistaken, Chris's Specialty Foods will be in for Foodie Friday, but that's a ways to go before we get there. Right now, we're going to hand off to Moon Griffon and the Moon Griffon Show. We'll be right back at it right here, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning on Talk 107.3. All right, guys, I've got a lot to get to before I get out of here for Rotary. I will see y'all tomorrow.